Timeless thoughts for a beautiful life. Today our word is abide. I like that word, abide. We don't use it all that often, but what does it mean? Means to remain, to stay, to adhere to. It's kind of like those labels on some jars that you try to get them off and you work and work and work trying to get that thing off of there, and still all that gunk is still there. It just takes forever to get that off. So, what does the scriptures tell us about abiding? Well, it has a lot to say. In John chapter 15, it says that it's not a if you want a thing, it is a command. And it says, abide in me and I in you. Wow. Well, it goes on to say how Christ is the vine and we are the branches. You know, I have some knockout roses. I got those because people say you can't kill them. I am not much of a gardener person. That you can't kill them and that there's very little upkeep. Well, they did really good last year and I sprayed and did all, the little upkeep that you needed to do. Wasn't a lot. This year, I had them all ready to go and they did great right at first. Then all of a sudden, these big old branches started just going straight up. All that was on there was just thorns and it was a big old thick thing. And just right on the very end was a few little roses. And I'm thinking, this is not at all what the picture looked like of knockout roses. So I said, I know what I'm going to do. It's kind of like the scripture. And it says how we needed to be pruned, to be cut in order to remain. So I cut those big old branches down, and so now I'm looking forward to some beautiful roses coming out. It's just like our life. What does Christ have to do to us? Well, sometimes he has to prune us. Why does he have to do this? Because we want to stand up. We want to do our own thing. We don't even have to think about what God might have in mind for our life, do we? Well, what we need to do in order to abide is this. To abide is our response to what God has taught us to do. To do those things, those teachings of Christ, to fill our mind with those things that we have learned, okay? And when we do that, we are going to be transformed. Our affections are going to be more toward Him than the things that we think we gotta have, aren't they? A scripture we can pray is this. It's 1 John chapter 2, verse 28. And it just sounds like the Lord talking to us. So, little children, abide in him, so that when he appears, we may have confidence and not shrink from him in shame at his coming. We don't want to be ashamed when Christ calls us, do we? We want to live for him every single day. So that's what we should do today. Let's abide in him. See you next time.